So I did two things recently. Number one is that I finally beat Banjo-Kazooie for the first time on stream, links in the description by the way, and second was I watched Normal Boost's video on their Super Mario 64 tier list and enjoyed listening to the discussion between them all, and it got me thinking, what were my opinions on Banjo-Kazooie's levels? So I've decided to do my own tier list in which I'm going to challenge myself on improvisation and trying to think of what I liked and what I didn't like. So, here we have a tier list of all the levels in the game. Now, I should note that I'm also going to include Spiral Mountain as a level and also the quiz and final boss in one package deal at the end. I'm not going to do Spiral Mountain until after I've done Click Clock Wood, as you don't really explore the entirety of Spiral Mountain until you get to the end of the game, so I think it'd be weird to do it early. So, let's just get right into it. Obviously, first off, we have Mumbo's Mountain, and in my opinion, if you're making a game, the first, especially if it's a collectathon, the first level you make has to be in everyone's A or S tier. I'm not saying that everyone should say it's an A or S. I'm saying that if players don't decide that this level is in their A or S tier, then it's not going to be a great outlook for the rest of your game, as this is the starting level. It defines the entire game, and if it doesn't live up to its standards, then I'm pretty sure all the players are going to have this subconscious implant in their brain that the rest of the game may not live up to standard. An example of this would be Super Mario 64. It has a brilliant first level with Bob on Battlefield. It's very big. It has a lot of exploration. There's so much you can do in it. It's fun to just jump around, leap around. And then an example of an opening level which maybe doesn't live up to standard would be a Hat in Time's Mafia Town, which is very just a bombardment of everything at once. It doesn't really introduce you to things at a time, which is good for exploration, but in terms of like cohesive level structure, I don't think it's very good. But Mumbo's Mountain, I think, is a very, very, very good starter level. I really like the theme of it. I wish the theme of it was explored a bit more. Like, you have the totem structure which you interact with by shooting eggs in its mouth, which also has that hidden honeycomb, which I think was very, very fun. It also got that Stonehenge structure, which has that, I think it has a Jiggy at the top and a Jinjo behind it. I wish that this totem theme was expanded on. I think it's expanded on in Banjo-Tooie, but obviously I'm talking about Banjo-Kazooie. And then you've got the NPCs. It's the first time you meet Mumbo, who's always a tree. You get to interact with Conga, the big gorilla on the tree. You make him hit the orange panels. It's kind of a fun interaction. You've got the chimp. You have to beat Conga. That's also a fun interaction. And then, speaking of Mumbo, you also get the first transformation of the game, the termite, which I always thought is very oddly satisfying to be able to climb like at this diagonal stance on the wall on like the slopes that you climb up to the top. As is the first level, some of the jiggies are interesting, but others are quite plain, but it's to be expected with the first level. I am going to keep this in mind. And I just like how a lot of it is hidden and condensed. I suppose examples, though, of what I mean when I say something interesting is like, you've got beating Conga, you've got hitting the hidden orange panels, you know, feeding the chimp an orange, and then some are just jiggies that are just there. Like, I'm pretty sure there's one on like a hill, and there's one in the eye of Mumbo's hut. But overall, I would say that for sure, Mumbo's Mountain goes in A tier. I almost put in S tier. That would have just been lying to myself. Okay, next up we have Treasure Trove Cove. Treasure Trove Cove, I think, honestly, is a great beach level. It's not a generic beach level. There's so much you can do in it. Hunting the X is fun. It's the level where you learn to fly, and flying around it, it's got such this great sense of scale and height. You can explore for hit sunken treasure. There's so many landmarks in the level you can think of. Like I said, there's the lighthouse at the top. Or maybe I didn't say that, but my point is, there is a lighthouse at the top. There's the hermit crab you can defeat and enter its shell. Like there's the pirate ship which you hunt for the aforementioned gold in. And then there's the sandcastle which you have to like try and reveal by draining out the water with a bucket, which I don't really think makes sense, but it's still, I guess it's a sense of childlike wonder it inspires within you. I love how the music in this level is interactive. It happens throughout the entire game, but I think it really shines in this level, especially when you go inside the shell that I said before, and the music goes like low when it's very echoey and reverberates like it's coming off the walls. And then if you're at the top of the level near the lighthouse, it's just all seagulls squawking, and you can just jump down. I mean, you don't want to jump down, you'll probably die, but you can hear the music come back in as you fall. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, Treasure Trove Cove, absolutely S tier level. I think it is that good. Okay, next up we have Clanker's Cavern. I'm not gonna lie, I think that the theme of this level is pretty bland. I mean, it's very dull, it's all like grates and sewage and rust, which makes sense, it suits the level, but that doesn't mean I have to like it. It's thematically appropriate, but it's still not appealing, if that makes sense. Um, I like the idea of Clanker. I love his textures. I know that's hypocritical of what I said, but he's got this nice rustic look, and he's got this gore coming out of like slits on the side of him, which I think is a very, very nice, gruesome detail, especially for a kid's game. It is pretty brutal. I like how he's dynamic to the level, like his blowhole, it pops like this cork, which you can explore the top of the level, which adds a nice sense of verticality rather than climbing the pipes or going up vines or something. It's very unique. But then you can also explore the inside of him through the blowhole, which is also pretty good. The inside of him is neat. It's cool that you can go inside of this like metal beast, and it's quite gory and bright red inside and chunky. But I don't think it's really impressive in terms of platforming or like level structure. I like how the level in overall is split into these subsections so that collecting the notes isn't so obnoxious. Now, the notes I should bring up, I'm only going to be talking about them in context of the original Nintendo 64 game, in which when you leave a level, you then have to collect all of them again. Because I know they fixed it in the Xbox Live Arcade versions, and probably subsequent versions after that, but most people play this when they were a kid. I feel like I should discuss the original piece of it. And then finally, though, I have to bring up this. The underwater camera is absolutely atrocious. Banjo-Kazooie has this incredible thing where it has one of the best camera trackings in the world by holding the R button, and then decides to make the auto camera just stuck on anyway, and it's awful. When you're freeing Clanker with you have to spin through the key, I honestly thought I was going to lose my mind during that section. In fact, I probably did lose my mind. I'm going to put a clip in now of me most likely losing my mind. With this is horrendous. Who at Rare thought this was okay? I mean, I know it was years ago, but Jesus. This is terrible. Holy Christ. Okay, how do I turn this key? Told you. So, I think I'm going to have to be honest with myself. I'm going to put Clanker's Cavern in C. Now, unfortunately, the tier list is going to be a bit, as you can see, they're lowering down. It's fine, it's just a website. I didn't make this tier list, by the way. No, I'm making the tier list now. I didn't design the setup for the tier list. Whoever did it, thank you. You saved me time, and I actually do appreciate that. Okay, so next up is Bubblegloop Swamp. Yeah, Bubblegloop Swamp. Okay, now, again, I think that this level was pretty bland and visually. It's all just like greens and browns. Like, it, again, aesthetically makes sense, but I feel like much could be done with the swamp theme that really wasn't. Like, the most interesting thing to me was the crocodile hut, which honestly, even then, I thought was going to be like a giant crocodile, which I had to interact with. And there is the turtle that you interact with, but I don't know. It's a giant crocodile. I thought it was going to be alive. Interacting with the turtle is fun though, how you have to like stomp on all of his feet and then you go inside him, but there's the color memorization game, which is okay, it's a memorization game. I mean, you're either going to love it or hate it depending on how good your memory is, or even if your memory is bad, you could just write down the color sequence and it's not really that insane. I mean, again, it's an old game, I have to remember that, but it's not really anything crazy in terms of design. The transformation goes unused. I mean, it's a crocodile. Yeah, there's not much done with it. I mean, you can wade through the swamp water, and there's the minigame you play, and the minigame is fun. And I know combat isn't exactly a huge aspect of the game, but I just wish there was more you could do with the transformations, and especially with the crocodile, because it's fun, but it's not really useful. I'm pretty sure in this level the jiggies are pretty by the books. Like, other than the maybe the bounce pads and the speed challenge, I don't think there's any really platforming. I know there's the egg, which is pretty... Actually, no, opening the egg was pretty fun. But then there's the boots power-up that you unlock, which I honestly think are really, really slow and ruin the momentum of the gameplay. I know, again, it makes sense, you wade through the boost, but if the speed on them was just increased even slightly, I wouldn't have so much of an issue. And I will say, though, that the honeycomb pieces aren't too hidden. I remember that specifically thinking, damn, these honeycombs are nicely hidden. And I think that's a very good thing. Even though they're meant to be like this super secret item, I think that having them in a not stupid place really helped it. And for that reason, I am going to put Bubblegloop Swamp in B, because I don't think it's that bad. You know what? I'd be lying if I said I didn't prefer. I'm going to put Clanker's Cavern in B as well. Yeah. Again, the levels aren't bad at all. I just don't think they are very interesting or could have more done with them. Okay, so next up is Freezy Peak, I believe. Oh, I got the order here wrong. Let's quickly swap that. Lol. So Freezy Pink. Freezy Pink. So first thing off, music. Mwah, amazing. It's also one of the few levels where I'm pretty sure it starts with a motivation. Like you immediately go in the hut, and there are those three like polar bears crying that they've lost their father and want their presents. And then you obviously see the father, so you now know you've got to rescue the father. So you kind of get this objective, which is pretty nice. You have this goal that you're looking out for, other than just collecting all the jiggies. I'm pretty sure this is the level where you learn how to do Beak Bomb, which is very awkward to aim and use. It's fun, don't get me wrong, but it's still kind of awkward to like manipulate and use. And the snowman enemies are very, very frustrating. But it's weird because I think they're annoying, but I also think it's very satisfying when you land that Beak Bomb to just finally kill them. It's such a conflict, right? I can't tell if they're annoying and it's bad, or if it's annoying and it's good. I guess it's kind of like, I don't know, it's strange, isn't it, how difficulty can affect things. I'm pretty sure this is the only level in the game where it has this strange design, where it's the only level where you have to unlock something in the next level and then go back to get a jiggy. It's only in this level, and it does hinder it slightly from a collector's standpoint if you want to collect everything and move on. And also it just feels weird to have to backtrack because it's the only time you do it. It just hinders it very, very slightly. However, it is an entertaining summit level. If you don't know what a summit level is, think of like, you know, like I said before, Bob-omb Battlefield, Womp's Fortress, levels where you have to climb to the top of a mountain, you know, tall mountain. It's very good climbing up the giant snowman. It's very, very interesting. I remember there's the jiggy where you have to help the Twinklies, that's a very strange name, get to the tree, and then after you get them to the tree, you have to turn the tree on, and then after you turn the tree on, you have to fly through the star 3 times. I think that's a little lengthy for one jiggy. Again, it's like in Mario Odyssey, right? How some moons are sit on a bench and other moons are save the world. It's very strange, but it's not bad. I actually did enjoy the challenge. But I will say it has a transformation, which again is pretty redundant. I'm pretty sure it grants immunity to the ice water. But other than that, again, it does nothing. Like, what, you go into a seal's hut and then do a race, which you do anyway without the transformation, which is the one that you have to go back and do. I know it seems like I'm like crapping on this level, but I'm really not. Hunting the presents is fun. You know, climbing up the snowman is great. The snowman's absolutely terrifying, his eyes when you get to the top. It's a very memorable level, and I know I maybe said quite a few bad things. I would say that this level is a definite A. I think that's going to bother a lot of people, because I know Freezy Peak is very well loved, but yeah, again, I have to be honest with myself here. Yeah. Okay. Gobi's Valley. So next up we have Gobi's Valley. Now, in my opinion, Gobi's Valley is amazing. It's a desert level that's not generic. You know, I'm thinking of like New Super Mario Bros. Wii, New Super Mario Bros. U. You get the point. It's like, it's got so much to do in it. Like the pyramids, there's several pyramids you explore. Each of them have a different thing. You ride magic carpets. You you go through a maze, even though I don't really like mazes, but it's still interesting. There's there's that one puzzle where you have to match the tiles. That's fun. Like, it's just very unique and interesting. I like the interactions with Gobi, the camel, and the world around him. How you have to beak bomb him to feed the palm tree, and then the palm tree stretches out. And there's that guy who has that like very weird pet with him. And you like have to charm the snake or something, and then you have to like fly through the hexagonal hoop of like a statue, or you have to feed the banjo sphinx-esque things eggs in order to progress through the level. It's just really good. It's not a generic desert level. It's not a generic tomb level. The only qualm I have with it is that there's the speed segment where you get the speed shoes. Oh my god, there's that bit where you drain the water out as well. Oh, that's so good. But there's the bit with the speed shoes, which I don't like because I think that's very slightly unforgiving. It's not bad, but Jesus Christ, if it really doesn't make you rush. And I can see that being difficult for younger players. But other than that, absolutely fantastic level. And that is why I'm putting Gobi's Valley in S tier. Now, okay, Mad Monster Mansion, in my opinion, is a fair case of expectations meeting reality. I want to say that Mad Monster Mansion was my favorite level in the game. I would be lying, because Gobi's Valley was my favorite level in the game. It's a haunted mansion level, you know. Well, no, it's not just the mansion though. You've got the hedge, you've got the church, you've got the well. It's very fun. It's very spooky. The music's really good. The transformation I was expecting to be really something else, but the pumpkin's cute. Don't get me wrong, but again, I don't think it does anything other than just going down the toilet and fitting in that one sewer hole, which I know is more than nothing. It's actually pretty fun climbing up and interacting with a pumpkin, and then you go and unlock one of the levels. Well, then again, never mind. I should bring that up when we get to that level. But it's hard to describe it. I like exploring the haunted manor. I like the floors. I like how you have to break through an upper level in order to not disturb the sleeping guy. I did like the where you're on that like Ouija board kind of thing. You have to ride that glass. My only issue being that the camera was kind of kind of strange at certain points during that part. You know, diving into the well is fun. Finding out how to kill those green ghoul enemies was pretty interesting using the Wonder Wing. It seems obvious in hindsight, but I don't know, it's such an aha moment. It makes you feel really smart. Now, again, this is still going to annoy people, but this is going in A tier, not S. I think the level was good, but I don't think it's perfect. Okay. Rusty Bucket Bay sucks. It is a very awful level to look at. It's a very awful level to play. It's decent in terms of setting. I mean, you're on a boat. It's fun to explore the boat. It's fun to break through the windows. It's fun to climb up the smokestacks. I think that's what they call them. I'm not sure. Please correct me on that. It's fun to maybe go inside the captain's room. But, you know, the houses around it are boring. Shooting eggs to unlock a bridge is pretty bleh. Climbing up the cranes is fun. I enjoy doing that because, again, it's verticality. It adds a sense of like scale to the level. You know, you don't fly in the level. I'm pretty sure you don't fly in the level. The water drains your health twice as fast. And the biggest issue is it's very easy to die in this level, especially with the subsection I'm going to bring up in a minute. And when you die, like I said, Nintendo 64 version only, I'm thinking about, you lose all your notes and have to start from the very beginning. And I know for a fact, okay, I don't, but I can guarantee you that the note thing was a hardware thing and not an intentional design on Rare themselves. So, yeah. There's also the gear subsection, which is very, very, very stressful if you don't want to lose all your notes and start again, especially when you get there later on in the level and realize, oh god, if I fall and die, I have to start collecting all over again. I think the colors. It's the only place. Actually, the gear subsection is the only part of the game part of the level. Sorry, that actually has like decent colors on it. Like the. But here's my issue. I feel like the gears would have made more sense as a subsection in Clanker's cavern, inside of Clanker, so he's part flesh, part mechanical beast that you explore, and then you put a water segment underneath the gears, so it's a bit annoying if you fail. You can even add the double air usage if you want, but it's still like something, a punishment that's not losing all your notes. Yeah, I do think that some of the platforming is fun, but overall, the only section I enjoyed doing was the gears. So, I'm afraid Rusty Bucket Bay is in D tier. Okay, then we have Click Clock Wood. Click Clock Wood is a very, 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 very interesting level. I think that interesting is a pretty much buzzword that like people use to hide their true feelings. I think it's got an amazing theme. I love exploring the level 4 times, each in a different season. It can be a bit repetitive, but the fact that what you do in one prior season affects a later season is amazing. Like there's the flower that you water with Gobi, and then it grows per season. You free the beaver in one season, you go to the other, you have to feed the bird in one season, it goes to another. It's just very interesting. Like there's the hut that builds. It's just so much you can. It's like I said with Treasure Trove Cove. There's so much in the level you can remember, and I think that really makes it pretty special. It's got in my opinion, it's got the best transformation in the game. The bee. The bee looks daft, even though it looks adorable. And unless you fly around everywhere, you can even explore some of Spiral Mountain as the bee, which is also really good. The note hunt is a bit nerve-wracking due to a huge level that you have to climb 4 times, and even then, it hides the notes sometimes in some very, very, very tricky places. Not bad, just very, very tricky. But it's a very satisfying level to 100%. Fighting the wasps is pretty fun, but my only issue again is the repetitiveness of it and the fear of losing your notes. And again, I know people are going to say you don't in the Xbox Live Arcade version, and I know, but I'm sorry. So it's only A tier for me. It would be S tier if it was just a little bit more refined, but it ain't. Okay, and now obviously, as you can see, Spiral Mountain and the final boss aren't on this tier list, but so I'm going to edit them in myself in post. But Spiral Mountain, maze-like lair of an evil witch, which I think makes sense. Let me get this out of the way. Spiral Mountain's outside is very beautiful, very peaceful, very quaint. It's got those vegetable enemies. It's got bottles, as in the mole, not bottles. It's got rooms to explore. It's got hidden passageways. It's got the witch whose name I forgot. The nice witch who is a bitch to her sister. Gruntilda's evil. Lol. I feel like Spiral Mountain is a very good hub because at first I thought it was very complex and overly complex, but that's just because I wasn't acquainted with it. And then when you free the jiggies, it's fun to find them. The only thing that really bothered me was the webs that you had to shoot eggs into to get that one thing. That was very weird because I don't know why you. I know eggs is like one of the few moves you got, but I feel like that move where you go and then slam into the ground would have been how you break the webs, but I guess not. So I'm gonna put Spiral Mountain in B tier, which I think's fair. I think B tier is pretty fair for Spiral Mountain. I don't think it's the most memorable hub in the world. But then again, I also don't think Peach's Castle is the most memorable hub in the world. And then the final boss in the quiz. The quiz I really enjoyed actually because I like being tested on my memory and just figuring things out. I think it's really. The quiz is a testament, I don't know if that's the right word, is a symbol itself of how memorable the game is. And the game's very memorable to the fact that you then literally can answer a quiz. The game's very, very memorable. And I can see why it's stuck in the heart of a lot of people. But the final boss is a bit wanting. It's pretty finicky. The game's obviously not combat based. It's pretty finicky. It's pretty, just dodge and attack and then just shoot. And even then, it's after the fake credits, which I thought was so long and such a huge interruption that it kind of bothered me, especially when I was literally live streaming it and I just wanted to kind of get to the boss already. Having the rewards of the maxed out golden and red feathers and the double health is really cool. But like I said, that's a note thing, and I don't really like the notes in the game this much. I think the boss and the quiz, I'm gonna say C tier. And it's not just because I have something in C tier. I don't know if I'm lying to myself right now. I enjoyed the quiz. I enjoyed the quiz a lot. I didn't enjoy the final boss. I didn't enjoy... Nah, C tier. Because I'm thinking of it like this, right? The only reason I like the final boss is because I got the nose to get the max health, and the only reason I got the nose to get the double health is because I used save states in Rusty Bucket Bay, because I didn't want to collect 90 notes again if I did one misslip and died. So yeah, C tier. Okay, feel free to yell at me about that, because I'm not even sure if I trust that judgment myself, to be honest, but everything else I agree with perfectly. So you've got Treasure Trove Cove and Gobi's Valley in S, Mumbo's Mountain, Freezy Peak, Mad Monster Mansion, and Click Clock Wood in A, Bubblegloop Swamp, Clanker's Cavern, and Spiral Mountain in B, Final Boss and Quiz in C, Rusty Bucket Bay in D. I think that's fine. I think that makes sense to me. Okay, if you have any opinions, or you're really pissed off at me for putting Mad Monster Mansion not at S, or Click Clock Wood not at S, please yell at me, because I'm pretty sure I deserve it. And if you want to watch me do my playthrough of Banjo-Kazooie, the stream VODs are on my alternate channel where I upload my stream videos. And yeah, that was interesting. I enjoyed doing that because it really put me on the spot on what I liked and didn't like. I might make a video in the future which is a bit more scripted and analytical and a bit more high production, but I really just wanted to make something to kickstart my channel off whilst I learn how to video edit and photo edit and audio edit and just, time myself out with the amount of skills I want to learn. But yeah, if you managed to stick around to the end, thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you are interested in... So the plan for my channel is I am going to do more high production videos, but I want to also satiate the viewership with these videos as well, so I can still have some discussion out there with my opinions on things. But the high production videos are coming soon, very soon. I probably shouldn't have said very soon. But yeah, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, yell at me in the comments, and subscribe. And I'll see you all next time. Hey, this is 30 minutes. I shouldn't have swore there. I'll censor out. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.